White people are the gayest ethnic race in the world.
That's probably true.
It probably is true, actually.
I've met so many white lesbians.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about Europe, like Europe has been like the sociological like soft spot of the world.
Like all of a sudden the Spartans were gay. All of a sudden the Greeks were gay. Like not a single indigenous tribe is gay. It's always the whites.
Oh wait, no. Okay, so I do know of a tribe. Okay.
Back. This one is no purpose. We are just going to comment on the fact that Sway is dressed like a gay farmer from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I consider it to be a fashion-forward farmer.
Are those bullet holes in your shirt?
Fashion-forward farmer from the hood. So, funny story behind this ensemble. Mm-hmm. It was part of a Halloween party I threw where we did a bar crawl downtown, and I wanted to be Waluigi, who is the evil cousin of Luigi. So this is part of the fit.
Waluigi.
But I want to make this like part of my lore, part of my character, part of who I am. Is to someone who's confident to rock in public.
Gay clothing.
Overalls.
Okay.
Someone's confident enough to walk around with straps meant to be grabbed.
These are for fastening and keeping this
right for fastening.
Just a nice tight grip from behind.
I will say, Blake, what's nice is they're functional. There's actually a frocket, a front pocket.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's good.
You know what? Now it's suddenly less gay.
So, at the time of recording this, it has been a wild week. It is currently the day before Easter. I was going to say the day before Sunday. Some might call that a Saturday. But Joe Biden just called... you said it to me. What are we at? We got...
Yeah, you called it what? Trans something?
Yeah, Joe Biden has called Easter Trans Day of Visibility. Thank God he's worrying about shit that we don't care about. You know? Let's not worry about, what is it? Inflation, going to war. I'm worried about how you can ruin Easter.
I think it's wild. You know?
Well,
I'm for everybody. Everybody deserves love in the best of ways.
Yeah, but on a different day.
Right,
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I'm pretty much... whatever, Biden can say whatever he wants, but I'm just like, from a PR perspective, who is advising this? Because, like, I mean, America, whether you think so or not, there's a lot of Christians here, and coming into an election, making a point of contention for the more conservative, division of Christians, making the second most sacred Christian holiday of the year about something that is very usually not super appreciated in the Christian community on that holiday. I don't. It's wild. And then he's like, and then he also says he's Catholic. So I'm just kind of like, what is it?
Well, we all know that like they're all a bunch of liars and everything. I was having this conversation with someone the other day because I was talking about how Trump went to the policeman who was shot, the New York policeman, how he went to that. And this person was like, yeah, but he's only doing that so people, like, so voters care. And I'm like...
That's literally what all politicians do.
I go, but yeah, but what would you rather? Would you rather a guy who does good shit so that he gets votes?
Right.
Or someone who does stuff like this that doesn't benefit it? I would rather the person who's going to do the good thing.
You know why he did it? He saw the trans flag and he's like, that looks like Easter colors. And then his little dementia brain crossfired and boom, zoom, there you go. Right? So, I mean, that's called demyelination, neurodegeneration disease. But anyways, I mean, I think it's kind of ballsy of Trump after this whole New York City type thing, getting like a ridiculous fine, I don't care really all about that. Whatever, he's got money, he can pay the fine. But to go back and still show honor to a New York police officer, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Well, he knows how to actually make people care.
Right.
That's the thing I think that the other side, the liberals, don't get, is they pander to a base that does, like, they get outraged, but then they don't. It doesn't benefit anyone once they get what they want.
And when they get what they want, they find something else to be outraged about because they're in a constant state of Neuroinflammation. Their brains are on fire because all they're doing is eating inflammatory foods, not getting sleep, injecting themselves with hormones. Of course, they're not going to feel good. They're always going to find something to be angry. Addicted to outrage.
It is weird, but it's... So, do you know what's funny? I was watching this thing on the Don Lemon and Elon Musk episode.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So...
I know what you're going to say.
Well, everyone has pointed to it's funny that when the people who are controlling the information, being social media, when Twitter was cutting down modes of information, or routes of information that was detrimental to the left wing, everyone on the left was like, it's a private company, they can do whatever they want, it's not public, it's a private company.
Right, defending the action.
Fair enough. They didn't say that when Elon Musk got it.
Right.
And then when the advertisers started pulling their money, which was deliberately trying to bully him to do something. Mm-hmm. And he goes, fuck you guys, I don't care. I said this back in the day, which is like, as soon as that smoke settles, the advertisers going to start coming back anyway.
Right.
All they care about, they pretend like they care about this shit. They pretend like they care about you. All they care about is making money. So here's the thing. They're going to make it look like, while your focus is on Elon, we're going to make this stance short term. And maybe like 6-12 months when you've forgotten about it and there's still people on x.com, we are going to slowly come across and start marketing again because it's better for our business. And it's starting to happen right now.
Well, it's just so weird because it's like, I think the majority of Americans are just tired of things getting shoved down their throats, and so it's just wild that...
I don't know, the LGBT loves things shoved down their throats. I wouldn't say that. I mean, that's what someone else would
Sway,
say.
what do you think about that?
Yeah, with that outfit, what do you like down your throat?
You know what I like down my throat? A nice multivitamin pack. Pardon me, Blake.
A multivitamin pack? There's one that, I don't know. I
Anyways,
had a joke and
moving
just fucked
on.
it up. I was going to say that's a trans thing. I couldn't make the correlation. On the note, do you want to go to a pod?
I do actually want to pod.
Dude, pods. So this is an Australian...
I never had one before.
Yeah, no, because they're Australian. So this is the Snickers version. If you say that too fast, it sounds racist. Stacey yelled it out once. She yelled out Snickers. And I was just like, she goes, come on, Snickers. And I was just like, stop. Like, we're in West Virginia. That is close. It's very close.
Right.
We'll do.
Oh, I don't know why. I was like...
Would you like one, Jarod?
Yeah,
you always judge my chocolate choices.
Well,
Holy shit.
I mean, I think this one's pretty light.
Pretty light. Yeah, about 3 grams.
This is pretty fire.
Oh, I mean, like the color.
Is that a problem?
I usually don't like milk chocolate.
He's like, yeah, this is I like it when they're lighter. I don't eat anything if it's too black.
Those are pretty... Oh my God. Those are pretty good though, actually.
Yeah. Stacey's actually, do you know Stacey's a toast racist?
A toast racist?
Like,
a toast. Like,
everyone's a toast racist.
No.
Everyone has their preferred toasted
she
level.
will not eat toast if it's mixed. It has to be white.
Mixed?
Wait.
Yeah, like
toast hasn't like the bread?
It can't be slight. Yeah.
Okay.
So Stacey will not eat biracial toast. Like
It has to be either white or like dark burnt.
I'm talking
Like white or burnt.
It looks like it just got a tan in the toaster, and it comes out, and she's like, "Oh, it's burnt."
So she doesn't like the perfect piece of toast.
She whitewashes her toast.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What do you mean? How she whitewash it? Does she even toast it? She just eats the bread.
she just shows it to the.
She's like one of those people trying to spread like cold butter on like not toasted bread. Just like ripping up the terrain.
Oh, it's insane. Like I'm talking. It'll have a slight orange tinge to it. That's she's
wild.
like, it's burnt.
So she likes Donald Trump toast.
No, she hates it. She's a liberal with her toast. Would you like another pod?
I actually would very much
right.
Oh, thank God.
Let's quickly share a story about how Susan was able to reverse her type 2 diabetes in 12 to 16 weeks. Susan was struggling to lose weight. She was feeling symptoms of tingling and numbness in her hands and feet, had low energy, just everything that's associated with type 2 diabetes. Just like everyone, gone to a traditional doctor, they've gotten blood tests for her, looked at it and go, look, there's nothing we can do. We're very sorry. You just have to stay on insulin. Side note, right now, we have become aware that the traditional medical system, their motive is to keep you in poor health because that allows them to keep staying rich. There's not really any drive to cure the root cause or solve or find the root cause so that you can get better, because if you get better, that means less money for them. They want you on a subscription model, and we're getting tired of it. So just like us, Susan turned to holistic medicine. She wanted to get to the root cause of this problem. So what Susan did was reach out to Dr. Jarod at Revital. If you're not familiar with who Dr. Jarod is, he is a friend of mine. He's on podcasts, often on the Aussie Show. And what Dr. Jarod did was, through holistic interpretation of her blood work, stuff that the other doctors didn't want to do, she was able to get the information from Jarod of what she needed to implement through nutritional support, problem areas, basically the source of the problem. Now, through that, we're not making this claim that this will happen all the time. However, in Susan's individual case, she reversed her type 2 diabetes. She's got back her energy. She feels better. She feels back as herself again, and she's enjoying life. The tingling's gone, all of that good stuff. I'd imagine if I had type 2 diabetes and then didn't have it again. If you want to find out how, it might not be type 2 diabetes, it might be something else, a chronic illness, it might be something you just given up on and you're just used to having it and want to see if it's possible, if there's a pathway to get rid of it, reverse it, or just be able to overcome it, check out Dr. Jarod at Revital. Go to bit.ly/Revital Health, and that link is in the description if you don't remember it, but bit.ly/Revital Health. Fill out the form, book a call, have a chat with Dr. Jarod to see if this is right for you. This is not perfect for everyone. I just want to say that. So it is a consultation to see if this is the right match, first of all. And then if it is, you can speak about the next steps to take. bit.ly/Revital Health. Let's get back to the show.
That catch.
I feel like a seal at a zoo right now.
Now I understand why they do tricks. I'm like, okay, this is some good positive reinforcement. I'm like, okay.
All right, what other crazy shit you want me to say, Blake?
Right.
Jump, boy.
Oh, Blake, what other crazy crap do you want me to say? I'll do anything for a pod.
Now I understand Shaggy and Scooby do so much more. You know?
What?
Shaggy and Scooby.
I'm trying to think of one of them more overalls right now.
Actually, have you seen the photo of when...
What?
So when what was it? It was Thelma and who? I'm thinking Thelma and Louise, but that's a movie. Thelma and Daphne. Have you seen them in underwear?
Wait, what?
Are you talking about seeing cartoon characters in underwear right now?
Yeah, no, it was in a scene. It was actually in an episode.
In canon.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
And then pull it off. No, I mean those animators.
I'm not gonna lie.
What were you about to say while he's pulling that up?
What was I gonna say?
Why do you remember? Why do you feel relatable with Scooby and Shaggy right now?
Oh, because of Scooby Snacks, bro.
Oh, okay.
You know
Fair
how they
enough.
were just ready for anything.
Yeah.
Let's go find the ghost. I don't know. I'll give you a Scooby Snack. Oh, that ghost ain't gonna get away from me, Copper. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All you need is sometimes a little bit of motivation.
Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, check this out.
Alrighty.
What the?
What? That's wild. Mm-hmm. But you know who else is like that? The Pixar animators, the mom from The Incredibles.
Oh well.
She's stacked.
Thick with a Q. He's thick.
Wait, she what? Say it again.
Honestly, would you like on the pod?
There we go.
I would. Yeah, The Incredibles, man. She was incredible.
She was.
I wonder, like,
that's calculated, bro.
These
animators are doing it for a purpose.
I feel like it's for, like, there's jokes in these movies, which is hilarious because it's like there's jokes that are there for adults that are deliberately meant to go over the kids.
Right.
And now that we are old enough and we have our own kids, watching parents lose their mind. They're like, they were indoctrinating our children. It's like, no, They were just getting your parents to give a fuck about a boring movie that kids care about.
Yeah, and the parents are going to watch it because the kids are going to drag them there.
Well, maybe.
Bro, I don't know. Every kid grows up to be a sex fiend anyway, so it ain't exactly like indoctrinating.
You know what's crazy to think about?
Well, they were all indoctrinated by all the pedos at Disney.
I don't know about you, man, but I don't know how a pedo gets a freaking... No, we call them a chomo.
A what?
They're called chomos now.
In Australia or?
No, in here.
Who calls them that?
The child molest... Chomos.
Oh.
Yeah, chomos. Way better. It's kind of cool, kind of trendy.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
The way we describe the worst of our society has to be up to date with the masses.
Well, it's better than maths. Mine are attracted people.
Wow.
Maps. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. But someone actually did like a blow up. There's blow up dolls of them.
Oh no.
That is actually wild. You know, that brings me to AI.
Everything brings you to AI, dude.
It's always AI or Neuralink.
He's like, that blow up doll reminds me of Neuralink right now.
Doesn't it though?
No.
Like, bro.
Go ahead. All right, let's hear it.
One of the biggest problems in our society.
One.
Just one. Is that of finding a mate. You know what I mean? There are billion-dollar companies, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, etc., helping you find a mate. What if all you needed was Siri and a blow-up doll?
They're doing that in Japan.
See?
Proof. No, they are. So in Japan, they actually have shown studies that there is a decline in men courting women because it's just easier for the Japanese men to just have a blow-up doll or a robotic doll and get their jollies off, not have to deal with a boring conversation.
They probably have a higher credit score, decrease cortisol, increase longevity. Brian
and also ride the slow downward spiral of a lack of self-appreciation.
They also have the highest suicide rate in the country.
Right, yeah. Like, okay.
Maybe because they missed the tender touch of a woman.
Siri version 2.0 is going to be all right. Give it a couple years. They gonna, that is wild, though.
I don't know.
On my search right now, there's a lot of, like, questionable...
Your algo's going to be fucked.
There's a lot of questionable Daphne and Vilma.
You got to make sure you get that safe search on, big dog.
Oh, did you... Okay. All right. But, yeah, no, that's... What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't really know where to go.
We're talking about AI. Well, okay, let's talk about it because Blake has banned me from asking Jarod about his thoughts on Neuralink until the pod, and here we are. We're on the pod. So, Jarod, tell me how you really feel about Neuralink.
I don't want anyone inside my brain.
Why not? Like, what makes you better?
Why
what makes me better?
Why do you want that?
Why do you want someone inside your brain?
I never said I want anyone inside my head. I'm just asking. I'm just like, this is a thought experiment, you know? This is a safe space.
I think it'd be cool to have it. I think it'd be great to be able to...
If I could guarantee its safety, not getting hijacked, not being controlled by someone else, not being influenced by someone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
maybe. There's no guarantee for that, though.
I would forego all of that if I could just understand my wife. You can hack my brain. You can do whatever you want. If I go to her, what would you like for dinner? And she's like, I don't know. And then I'm like, yes, you do. Let's go to pho. She's like,
I would 100%. If anyone has ever come up with that tech, they will be assassinated.
Mel Gibson did once.
He did.
Yeah. It was in a movie.
What movie?
I think it's
What a Girl Wants. Was that a song?
Mel Gibson.
What a girl wants. That's a song. What a girl needs. Whatever makes a girl so happy, or something like that.
This is riveting.
You look so focused.
What women want.
Ah, okay. On the nose.
He's a sexist advertising executive is suddenly able to hear women's thoughts. And he realizes that he's not nearly as charming as he thinks he is. Yeah, but then he becomes charming and he fucks everyone in the movie.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah, dude gets laid.
Damn.
But here's the thing. Mm-hmm. The other concern is, have you seen like a diagram of a male's brain versus a female's?
No.
So a male is like, they've done studies of this. And the male brain is very, very simple. The male brain is sort of like, all right, boom, neuron fires and it goes to the destination. And, it makes sense because men are just like, duh, I'm gonna do whatever. And then they looked at women's brain, and they sort of were like astounded at how complex these women are, because they look like spaghetti thrown at a wall. And then they realized that, there's no fucking way you're ever gonna understand what a woman thinks, because they don't even know.
Honestly, man, that's one of the. But you know what? That's one of the joys of life, though, right?
Nope.
No. No, but it is, because it's like you get a chance to, because they're all unique snowflakes, you know? You get to know them, and each day you get to know a new version of them, potentially. So it's like, you know, it keeps it interesting. People say, like, oh, man, like, one girl can never be enough. It's like, no, they can be more than enough.
Who's that guy? There's this one guy who was, like, famous for... He there was an interview, I forget his name, I saw it on Instagram the other day, but he was like, yeah, if I slept with 5 girls one day, he's like, that was a low day for me.
Oh, that's
and
wild.
he went like for years like this, like he's classic like buff guy in Miami on a yacht with like all these girls around him kind of thing.
Dan Bilzerian?
I don't know, maybe.
No,
maybe.
he never brags.
But
I like Dan.
I can't remember who it was. Anyways,
He sounds like a cool guy.
but what he said was in the interview was he was like, you know, I actually think a monogamous relationship would have been better.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
What do you mean would have been? He can't go back and
Like-
well, he not go back, but he can start one.
He can
today.
start one now, but he's just saying that like all that led me to the conclusion that I wasted a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of pain, and monogamy would have
Oh
been better.
wow!
it is. There is a weird focus that happens when all of a sudden you're not distracted by just trying to get the next us.
That's nice. That's
What's his name? Dan something?
Dan Bilzerian.
No, Dan Bilzerian. He might have been saying that recently. I think he was.
But he said the focus when you're not going for next us.
No, yeah, it was him.
Yeah, Dan.
Oh, was him?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's tricky. Dan Bilzerian's an interesting character though, because he's always pushed himself so far beyond everything. Whether like he made a random bet that he could ride from LA to Vegas in like 24 hours or something, like insane stuff. Like he does insane things that it only makes sense that he's like that, you know. But it is interesting because I do agree with that having that monogamous relationship is this weird. There are moments where you'd like, you know what, fuck this. But it's like choosing to be healthy and not eat crap food.
Yeah.
Versus just eating whatever you want. Like, look, I think that there are some people that are really, they can be in like multiple relationships polygamy wise, but it's like there's so many different parts. Like, dude, like I said, managing one woman is tricky. Not because like they're hard work. It's like like I said, we're so freaking different that it's, and also like you're juggling expectations of what she wants in her life, what I want in my life, now what the kids. There's so much juggling that it's insane. Like I couldn't fathom juggling 2.
Absolutely, or 5 in that case, or in his case.
Well, no, his is just having sex.
Oh, okay,
But-
facts. Not like but I mean, but the cool thing is, what I find beautiful about life.
All right, here we
Let's
go.
keep it silly. Let's keep it silly.
Is that you can choose. Like if you want to have 12, you can have 12. If you want to have 5, you can have 5. You
Yeah,
know.
the thing that sucks is you might get to 45 and realize you chose wrong. Fucking deep, huh?
Yeah.
But that was why I ended up having kids. Because I was like, when I did enough split testing of... Let me finish. I had it was like this epiphany. So my whole 20s, I was a little man whore. But I think it was more like I was running away from having a real relationship. Like I kind of wanted it, but it was like, I had this stupid idea of like, I kind of wanted to sleep around because I wanted other people to be like, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, but you never get that. You know, like you might get it from a couple of people, but
Most people don't care at all.
most people don't care. It's like 18-year-olds that care. So it's like you end
Yeah.
up realizing when you're 28, the only people that are impressed are the 18-year-olds, and you're like, oh, this is weird. And but the other thing was the split test I was talking about. Splitting the leg. No,
dead.
it was. If I spoke to people in their like 50s and 60s, I never met someone who said, "I wish I didn't have kids." but I definitely met multiple people who said, I wish I did have kids.
Yeah.
Now, there were people who said, it just wasn't my thing, and I'm glad I didn't. But when
no one regrets having their kids.
No one regrets. Like, good, they go through shitty times with their kids. There might be 2-3 years where they don't talk, but they've never said like, yeah, I had kids, and I kind of wish I just didn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that was when I was like...
No, it's usually like, there's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have y'all heard about the Huberman canceling? Because when you said split testing, also real quick, to split
He's my boy. He is
to split test, you have to have a large enough sample size, just so you know. So, but it sounds like you may have done a proper split test. But that being said, what's going on with Huberman? Can you break it down for me?
I don't know much about it.
Okay.
So I was actually looking up. So
real quick, can you break it down for me instead? Because you're my number one news source. What's going on with P Diddy?
Okay, let's go to Huberman first. We'll come back to P Diddy. So Huberman news.
It was like polygamy, or like he was cheating.
No, he was like sleeping with like 6 different women.
Consensual? No, wait, not consensually, but like yes, consensually.
Well, yes, yes, consensually. I feel like it was consensual.
Were they aware of it? Like, was it cheating or was it like polygamy? Because that's the real question now.
I'm reading.
So my understanding is more like, one, it all these things start feeling like hit pieces after a while. Like there is as soon as something like, it just feels like that's the go-to shallow attempt.
Yeah.
If we can't find anything on this guy, we're gonna find some disgruntled ex-girlfriends, and good luck finding anyone who has slept with more than 5 women. Good luck finding not a single one of those girlfriends being slightly annoyed with him. Like, there's no chance. Like, there is... I always thought that I treated every girl that I dated right.
Yeah.
Now, in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, oh, some of them I didn't. So if you wanted to pull up dirt on me, all you got to find out is go through my Facebook, find like...
Why are you giving me a tutorial, bro?
That's all you guys have to do. But you can find any single person's ex list.
Yeah.
And ask them about what went well, what went bad. And as soon as they go like, oh, well, he kind of lied to me a couple of times, ex-girlfriend reveals that Blake, aka Andrew Huberman, was a liar. It's like, no, like, relationships fucking suck. And it just... For me right now, this thing is, it's a deliberate hit piece. It's a shallow hit piece. No one gives a shit.
Right.
You know, because again, it's the people who are like, there's some sort of agenda where they are, like, Huberman speaks out against Big Pharma.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no one else that has an interest to bring this article out. And now, I'm not saying it's necessarily directly funded by them or anything like that, but when a couple of things come out at once, it's probably very likely that it's organized, and it feels a little bit nefarious.
It's a hit job. Well, there's even this this article says, to those on the left, his endorsement of a traditional masculine lifestyle is a threat. And although he stays away from social issues, he's popular among listeners of Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, etc. So therefore, he is seen as a gateway drug into the dangerous beliefs of the political right.
Oh my God.
Therefore, Howley's attempt to cancel Huberman for his many girlfriends is therefore a journalistic hit job.
Isn't it insane
That's crazy.
But here's the thing. This is what's insane now. Being healthy is a right-wing activity.
Well, that keeps coming up in a theme.
That copywriting is freaking fire.
The thing that's weird, though, when did anti-Big Pharma become a right-wing thing?
I know, it used to be a left wing.
I was always left-wing because I was like, I don't trust this corporation. And then in 2021, it was this like flip where all of a sudden my left-wing ideology is now right-wing. And it's, I don't know, it's weird, but the whole thing with this is it doesn't make sense of what they're trying to do, because what they're trying to do is discredit him.
Yeah.
Discrediting him against people that don't listen to him, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So that's useless. But you're trying to discredit a guy who has a loyal following. So you're trying to discredit him in front of his following. We've all seen with podcasts with Rogan and anyone else who has this long form content. If I listen to someone like Huberman for, let's say, 30 hours worth. I've got 30 hours of relationship with this guy.
Yeah.
In my head, I've got that consistency bias, that familiarity bias kicking in.
Mere exposure effect.
All those cognitive biases that make me connect with Huberman as a person, that I'm not going to read one article and go, all right, I'm not listening to him at all. Because even if it was true, let's just say it was pretty bad. We have a cognitive dissonance, which is a cognitive bias, which if something doesn't go with our vision of what it is, we can create blind spots or justify why it's probably a lie. Like, let's say the argument that this is a legitimately bad article on Huberman, you're not actually going to sway very many people because of the hours you're going up against. You know, that's why, like, before the internet, the news always won because they could get more hours, touch points with the community. Yeah. Like, if you said a wild thing like this about a no-name scientist, and then he just like does one article going, hey, I didn't do this,
Good luck.
You're not going to win. So this is just another example of how they've kind of lost the reality, or they've lost their touch of how much power they don't have now.
Yeah.
Because this article is going to blow up and disappear. He's going to still be putting out podcasts week after week and getting in his followers' ears for 2-3 hours at a time.
Right.
That one podcast for 3 hours is now completely whitewashed the one article that they maybe read.
God. So two things real quick. So first, one thing I think it can do, it can stop it can make it a point of friction for someone to become a diehard fan who doesn't know him yet, because now they Google his name, maybe they hear him on a podcast or Instagram reel or TikTok. They Google him, this thing pops up about how he's a bad person. Maybe that prevents someone from converting from like into a mega fan. With that being said, you know, overall, I agree with your point. And I think that overall, they just have no idea how powerful social media is and a personal brand can be. But with that being said, what do you think his next move should be? Should he put out an apology? Should he respond to it?
Never fucking apologize.
Yikes.
Never. Here's the thing. You apologize if you do something wrong. That's the only time. Like, you saw it with all the Hollywood things. Like, oh, these things come out about you. You should apologize. And then they'll apologize for something that they didn't really do. And then you're like, what the fuck? And that actually, you saw it with Rogan. You've seen it with Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy is like the king of coming back against cancel culture. Like, Business Insider did a hit piece on him. And rather than him, he didn't even hide. He literally does a live conference on social media detailing everything. Because he had the same thing. It was accusations of not even just bad ex-boyfriend, like sexual assault. He showed receipts of conversations with these women. Like, and then went after, instead of on the defense, he went on the attack against Business Insider, particularly that reporter.
Oh,
to the point now where, like, have you heard of David Portnoy's champagne bottles?
No.
So every enemy that he creates, or has,
Oh, yeah.
he writes their name on a bottle of champagne, puts it on the shelf, and as soon as they fall, he pops it.
Wow.
So he's actually popped this Business Insider editor, his bottle twice now.
Wow.
Because he got fired for one thing, I think. He got fired from Business Insider, my understanding is. So he does this whole long video talking about what a piece of shit he is and blah, 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 and then just boom, and then drinks it.
Wow.
And then the guy got fired again, apparently. So he
did it
popped
again.
another bottle.
Yeah.
But it's like, the apologizing for something you may or may not have done is just so old now that we actually respect if you're like pushing against it and you're like, hey, I got the receipt, so come at me.
Yeah.
And then you go on the forefront of it. Or you can go the route of Rogan. Hey guys, just quickly, we're going to talk about testosterone levels. Now, this is something that can make us kind of uncomfortable to talk about. I know when I was chatting with my wife, she was pretty confident my testosterone levels are pretty low. So obviously as a man, I was kind of offended by this, but I was also curious because I do know that if I increase my testosterone levels, if I need to, I can feel a lot healthier, happier, more energetic, more motivated, list all the crap above that you want to insert, but testosterone just makes you feel better. Now, this is not an ad for testosterone replacement therapy. I still believe that you should be waiting until the last time to do it. Don't jump straight onto that. But if you are curious, there is this cool, free 60-second online test called the Atom Test. And what this is just 10 questions that they've curated, these 10 questions that have up to an 88% accuracy rating of whether or not you may be showing indications of low testosterone. Now, to do that, just head to bit.ly/the Atom Test. That's bit.ly/TheAdamTest. Now, if you don't want to remember that, like I don't want to, you can just head to the link in the description of wherever you're watching this. 60 seconds, 10 questions, 88% accuracy. And if you want to find out more after you find those results, T Clinics, who I've paired up with and I do a lot of content with as well, you can have a conversation with them to see if you want to do something to help increase your testosterone levels. The great thing about T Clinics, and the reason why I partner with them and why I personally use them as well, is they are very hesitant to give someone testosterone replacement therapy. Instead, they'll help boost your testosterone naturally, because they're not like other people where, I mean, this is going to sound like a pitch, but this is just me. Honestly, I've worked with them for so long because of this reason. I don't like people forcing testosterone replacement therapy onto me, friends, family, and you. So these guys will listen and do what's the right thing to help you become better and healthier, happier, and whatever it is, better at everything. Maybe not math, but it'll help with other things. Let's go back to the show, where I think the way in which when the racial slur video went around, the first line he said was genius. This is strange. And he talks not about the video. He eventually gets to that video, and like those videos went around, and he goes, look, I made some comments that at the time did not feel they were inappropriate, but in time I have looked back and felt they're inappropriate. So he still did apologize and make note of his thing, but he laid it at the beginning about this is strange time with content, everything's recorded, and I have a responsibility to the people that listen to me. So he owned up to it. It was like the perfect apology.
Yeah.
However, he didn't do what, if a PR agent did it, it'd be reading from a script, it'd be,
yeah,
I'm sorry for my actions, blah, blah, blah. Like, just, I am 100% guilty. Mm-hmm. He actually said, like, dude, I said, like, most of them apparently were him rapping, like, lyrics on songs, you know? Mm-hmm. And some of them were probably in bad taste. Mm-hmm. But he explained in a unedited conversation with his followers the complexity of everything rather than just
sorry. Yeah, my bad. Jarod, what are your thoughts? What do you think that any influencer who's going underneath some heat, you know, what their next move should be?
Yeah, I'm kind of team no apologize, but I mean to an extent.
If
right?
you fucked up, apologize.
Right. If you actually did something wrong,
and
yeah,
you're remorseful
apologize
for it.
Right.
If you're not, don't apologize.
Yeah,
right.
if you don't have. Yeah,
it's not genuine.
Right. So people are apologizing not because they're sorry or because they did anything wrong, but because they're bowing to the mob, right? And bowing to the mob is what worms do. So, anyways, but with Huberman, like. With Huberman, he doesn't teach a dating or relationship like podcast or course, right? He has a he's a neuroscientist.
He's like talking about sleep
who
and
talks
diet.
about physiology, chemistry, you know, practical things the average person can do to improve their quality of life. You know, he doesn't claim to be a dating expert, nor does he really claim to have, you know, I haven't really heard him talk about his personal relationships.
Never have I.
So
I love the title that you just sent me. Jacked rich neuroscientist proves popular with women. Yeah, no shit. He's rich, good looking.
Right.
He's a neuroscientist.
Have you met any fucking like basketball player or any famous person? You have options.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a whole Daddy Huberman like hashtag. Like
on
women
TikTok,
flock for this guy. And like your best thing you can come up with is he was sleeping with 6 women. That's all? Pick up your game, Huberman.
Can you imagine Huberman's like, oh, they only found the 6? Woo!
Right. He's like, if they only knew.
He's like, holy shit, they only tracked me for a week.
Now, if I was him, I would just keep with the scheduled program and keep making the content.
Jarod, like
and
5, 6 more and keep the podcast coming, big dog.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm endorsing his dating strategy or personal life. I just think that's not what Huberman got famous for, and I don't think it should be what takes him down. And he should keep making great content that are helping the average American understand real science, you know, instead of just watching commercials on TV, you know, because either they're going to learn the truth or they're going to learn the lies. And the lies are really loud in our culture right now, and I think Huberman Huberman is a voice of truth.
See, I don't think lies are that loud anymore. I think they're quietening because of stuff like podcasts. Because
you know what? Go to Walmart and I see everyone is believing lies. So like, yeah, we listen to podcasts, but I think a lot of people don't.
Yeah, the average person.
A lot of people don't. And like, I mean, granted, like I used to live in San Francisco surrounded by a bunch of really far left progressives my age, which is fine. I have some of my best friends have those beliefs. I don't care, but just to continue to be resistant to reason, like I'm like laying scientific studies in front of them, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm still gonna do whatever."
Yeah, But if they found a flawed study that proved their bias, they will use that as a good reference,
right? Or there's this authoritarian mindset where if someone high up in a government agency or someone with letters after their name says something, that must be true. Not necessarily, so I mean, like me, I'm not gonna listen to Huberman for relationship advice, know. But he's got letters out of his name, and he's an esteemed professor at Stanford, one of the best medical schools in the country, So anyways, I'm rambling, but I don't think our country is really that smart. I think the average American is 4th grade reading level.
Well, fun fact, they did a study that the average podcast listener earns $75,000. Not if you're listening to this episode, but maybe the other episodes. This might bring down your income.
This episode I dedicate to the people of Walmart.
Shout out to my homies out there.
Yeah, we just gave you a paid decrease.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not really. I still don't even know what Huberman really did. I'm gonna look into it after this. But
he just did
he cheat or not? I mean.
That's the thing I don't know either. I really
want to know though was what happened with P Diddy, because everyone keeps telling me these memes about this guy, and I have no idea.
Switch.
P Diddy.
Okay, I don't even know who this guy is.
Hold up.
Okay, listen.
Sean Combs.
Every listener, I'm the most like cultural.
You are
pop culture
retarded.
Retarded. Yeah, I mean if that's the word we want to use, but yeah. So I know nothing about pop culture, and you know what? I'm better for it. I don't care. I don't care. Like, you know what I do? I got people to help, and that's what I'm focused on.
Like,
that's where all my brain space is at.
Not knowing culture.
That's where my brain space is at. I don't know anything about P Diddy.
So,
but you come in with an autoimmune condition, I can help you.
The P Diddy thing is kind of wild. I've been trying to catch up with it, but it's a bizarre thing. Latest I heard was P Diddy fled to he's fled to a couple of islands. Cape Verde or something.
That's wild.
So because it's not, you can't extradite from there. But yeah, there's like rumors.
Wait, okay, so what happened?
So there was P Diddy's been known for a while now that it's like he was a legitimate gangster. Like he wasn't one of those people that was pretending. It wasn't like he would rap about stuff and it's like, it's just whatever. He was actually a freaking hardcore criminal.
It wasn't just art.
Yeah, I first found out about it like a year ago.
Yeah.
When it was a Halloween time, and P Diddy was dressed up as the Joker, and he full gets into character, and he's just like ha ha ha, and it's really good makeup, but he goes up to some big black guy, and he's like going rah, rah, like getting in his face, and the guy arcs up a little bit. And then the second that he notices it's P Diddy, you watch this fear go into his face. Like, oh, sorry, bro. And the reason behind it is like, people didn't really know how crazy he was. There was just a lot of people, the people in the music industry, if you knew someone in that industry, they were like, yeah, he's kind of fucking, he's bad. Like he's real bad. There was rumors, but never confirmations that he had, ordered a couple of hits on people, like full-blown gangster. But the thing that started unraveling a bunch of stuff was that a guy got arrested. I don't know his name. Who accused?
And the craziest thing about all this for me is that as of recently, to my understanding, he hasn't really been in the public zeitgeist. So for him to come back full force now, being a meme, but it's for a negative thing, is like kind of wild. And it's just also kind of crazy because I just watched an interview of Cat Williams on the Shannon Sharp, the Shay Shay podcast, and he was talking about Diddy and like the things that he would like, he was saying that he was implying that he was like sexually assaulting people in Hollywood. What Cat Williams was implying about P Diddy.
So I'm getting to that. So the thing that started, the thing that kicked it off was this guy called Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He got arrested for something, and then he was under testimony saying that he was the guy that killed Tupac, and that Diddy was the one who ordered the hit.
Wow. So
this was a while back, like this was last year at some point, but there was this thing about, holy crap, was it Diddy who ordered the hit on Tupac? And then it started this bit of a red rabbit hole for a bunch of things, and then since then it's been coming out that Diddy was sort of like doing a bunch of gay shit, but it was more like correlated to like similar to the Epstein Island stuff, using it as collateral, like, hey, we're gonna, like, they got cameras in his houses and stuff like that, like hidden cameras where he was allegedly getting some big famous dudes that getting to do gay shit, and then you would use that as blackmail, because you can let me know about this, but like I've heard that you can make, like, white guys, we make gay jokes all the time, but black don't fuck with that. Like, if you make a gay joke to a black guy, he ain't gonna be laughing.
Well,
like what we did earlier in this episode.
What I would say is that within the black community, like, genuinely, like, there is more homophobia, like, compared to like I guess like the white community, just from like my subjective personal experience. Additionally, like in the Caribbean culture, it is homophobia isn't even strong enough of an adjective, because it is so pervasive as well as intense. Like, literally, if you are homosexual in Haiti, where my family is from, you get murdered, you know. And I've heard similar stories from my Jamaican friends that is similar in Jamaica. So, you know, that's kind of how homosexuality has been perceived within my respective black communities. So that does make the whole Diddy thing like even more scandalous, right? Because he's obviously black, right? So that's why I was saying, when Cat Williams was on this big platform, on this huge podcast, just making these implications.
Is it huge, or I think his episode made it huge? That's sad.
Yeah, I mean it's huge now. I mean 3 million subs, or whatever. But anyway, but he's on a public forum. He's like on a 3-hour podcast, just talk. And I remember at one point he said like a joke of like, I was 25, or I made it to Hollywood and I had a virgin booty hole, and that was my only goal. And he's like, and remember, Shannon, I told you, because I never went to any of Diddy's parties, because Diddy likes to party, and if I had gone, I wouldn't have reached my goal of giving his virgin booty hole. So it's like, I was like, what? I'm like, that's just so outlandish that I'm like, one, who would come up with such a lie if there wasn't at least a hint of truth to it? And two, who would have the gall to go on a podcast and talk about it? So to see it come out now, it's like, whoa, like he was really like, he was, and what's crazy is he talks about this. He's like, guys, people in Hollywood are going to say things about me. I'm going to be doing drugs and I'm going crazy. This is Cat Williams. And he's like, but listen, like, if they ever say anything about me, it's not true. Guys, I'm here to tell the truth, and like, my whole goal is to be a vessel of truth. And so people were, when he was saying stuff about Diddy back in the day, that was when everyone was thinking that he was on drugs or that he was crazy. And he might have been on drugs. Like, maybe he is crazy. But it seems now, years later, that he was also potentially correct, which is, to me, mind-blowing.
I mean, it's pretty damning.
It is, especially for a gangster. Like, you're like you said, like, he has more of the, I'm a gangster. Like, imagine if 50 Cent has some shit that come out. It'd be like, what?
No one's going harder on Diddy than 50.
Yeah, have
you even started following him? Dude, he doesn't give a fuck. 50 Cent's Instagram is just, he's been going after Diddy since the Tupac accusations. So that was months ago.
Yep.
And like Schultz was talking about it, and Schultz was like, he met 50 and he's just like, aren't you worried? Like, this guy is allegedly a criminal gangster, and you're just going ham at him. And apparently some things was said that he couldn't repeat, but it was just like, you don't get to where you don't get to where I am without knowing how to navigate wild shit like that. And also, I mean, 50's also a bit of a gangster.
Yeah, right? It kind of helps when you've been shot 9 times and didn't die somehow.
But yeah, so there's all these things coming out now with Diddy where it's like he had a sex trafficking ring. He had
he hired male sex workers to engage in sexual acts with his wife while he filmed it.
Oh yeah, he was a cuckold. He loved it.
What? Yeah. So like, like within the black community, from
He's
my
really
experience,
abusive to Miss Ventura. Sorry,
Wait,
Who? Ace Ventura.
Cassandra Ventura,
Oh, is that his
wife? I think.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Who would have fucking thought?
P Diddy. I mean, I believe it.
I mean, I believe it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, the more, I mean, because I feel like, you know, like what 50 said, you don't get to where I've gotten. Like, I mean, you talk about the type of person who gains and retains that level of wealth, power, and influence for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Is someone who does not think like the masses. They view power differently. They view money differently. They view people differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that as we've grown older, we've been seeing so many of our childhood, you know, icons or people we looked up to falling by the wayside in regards to these being part of these massive salacious scandals. And I think there's definitely correlation there between magnitude of success and influence and having it for a long period of time, as well as deviant desires in different capacities. Like Akon, for example, or other people who blow up through music, they sometimes give a lot of it back, or they just go and become like unknown. You know, like not necessarily still being an active public figure, but Diddy was like still like, you know.
Do you reckon it was because they stopped sucking dick?
Wait, what?
Can you say that one more time? What? I was on my phone.
I'm just wondering, like for your fame, do you have to keep doing
Things you don't want to do.
Yeah, and like once.
Oh,
you,
of course.
But I'm
Hollywood
like-
is crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, so it's like you pay like an installment plan. So it's like, you know, you lick a dick quarterly and you just suck it annually. And if you decide to stop, it's like your fame dries up because your saliva did.
Is this a question?
I'm just wondering. Like, there's probably a way they do it. Like, it seems like a pretty like a great system that'd be similar to the banking system. Like, you pay interest.
I think it's
Yeah.
just. I think you just have to get people on your side.
What?
That's on that right. Yeah, I'm just surprised people don't know this.
About what?
The banking system of dick sucking.
Oh my gosh.
It's very much a very important thing. Who do you reckon?
How do you cash a check?
What famous people do you reckon have sucked a 9-inch?
To get to where they are today?
Like Hemsworth, you reckon?
That's fucking crazy.
Could you imagine that guy?
Because what does this mean about the rest of the industry?
Yeah, like who?
Because if Diddy is getting sexual favors to let
from people like Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Do you reckon when Busta Rhymes on it, he's like, he just gives the bombest head. Busta Rhymes is known to be the best because of his tongue skills.
Bro, I'm dead. But you know what the crazy thing is?
He probably is the best.
I mean, biologically, yeah.
Honestly,
That's
though, when he
crazy.
raps, it does sound like it. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Hold on.
Oh, I can't. We'll get flagged for friggin' YouTube, but like, I sound like Busta Rhymes.
I'll tell you what. Look at me now hits different now.
Look at me now.
That's who you know who I think actually who probably sucked it off to get big into Hollywood.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. I fuck with Hugh Jackman in a good way.
I think a lot of people fucked with him.
I think a lot of people.
I mean, dude, you don't do Broadway.
That's a good point. Yeah, you know. Yeah, if you're gonna.
Yeah. I find it very hard to see the guy like la going never touched a dick.
And never will. No, P Diddy. For 10, 20,
Yeah.
30, 40 million?
No one's P diddling me.
You know, Henry Cavill.
You reckon he did?
Yeah.
He's a good looking man.
I feel like he's not that talented.
I have to look up who all these people are.
He's actually pretty good in The Watcher.
The Witcher?
The Witcher.
Bruh.
I was just thinking watching someone dicks get sucked.
He has a role. You sit there and watch, I'll give you 5. That's crazy, bro. Can you imagine going to a boardroom meeting? You think it's just gonna be a meeting? I'm
Casting
getting
couch
PPD today.
situation. Well, I mean, it's come out that Nickelodeon basically had their own casting
Right.
couch.
Oh
and
my
discussing.
God, please.
So, like, here's the thing. It's like, is it that far crazy to think Disney does some horrendous stuff? P Diddy is doing it to like. So you got the two
Opposite sides.
opposite sides. You got homophobic, and then you got chomos. I said earlier that white guys don't have a problem making gay jokes and, like, you know, tapping each other on the testicles. Mm-hmm. We are the prime suspects for getting ahead by giving head.
White guys.
Back me up, Jack. Just quickly, if you are interested in Revital and how it can help improve your health, go to bit.ly/Revital Health to book a call with Dr. Jarod. That link is in the description. Click on that, book your call, have a chat, and see how it can help improve your health. Now let's get back to the show.
I'm not really sure which demographic gets ahead the most by giving head. I've never really considered that thought. I gotta be honest.
It's true. Actually, no.
The only time I've ever thought about someone getting
the
ahead.
the whites are the gayest. Okay, here's my argument. White people are the gayest ethnic race in the world.
That's probably true.
It probably is true. Actually,
Tell me, like, if you go,
I've met so many white lesbians.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you reckon being gay is a privilege? No. It's
Wait, what are you
definitely
talking about? Where are you going?
not. It's rough.
That was. Oh wow.
I was trying to make a connection, like.
Well, I mean,
Like,
no,
white
you know,
people have privilege.
Actually, you know what?
It
it is
is.
a privilege.
It is
I just
a privilege.
I just told you die in Haiti for being gay.
Yes. Wait,
So-
that's not a privilege.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
why-
I'm
yeah,
saying,
why-
no, wait, no.
It's a privilege.
No, I'm saying that to be able to be openly gay, it's a blessing. Like, I don't want to use the word not privilege, but like in the United States, it's a privilege because if you're in
Holy
Haiti,
shit.
you would die.
So,
and other countries too.
white people are. So white people have the privilege, and then we are like without privilege, we. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Me either.
But it's true, actually, though.
Well, I
think of like a white, an Asian gay person. I can, but it's much harder.
No,
I think of like a good-looking Mateo Lane,
It's accepted culturally.
ripped abs guy. You know, not much tan, but he's very fit. Maybe has a moustache like this, but I don't think of like a buff black dude.
Like this.
I mean, now you're changing my mind with that outfit.
But no, you're right. I think statistically speaking, it probably is like, you know, the most openly homosexual,
Well,
and by extension, therefore, has done the most to get ahead in Hollywood as well.
Well,
So
if you just think
being
about
gay is white people shit.
It's all people
To an
shit,
extent.
but it's mainly
I mean, the acceptance of it, I think, is
the acceptance of it. Yeah.
Well, if you think
there we go,
about
Jared.
Europe,
Something
like
accurate.
Europe has been like the sociological like soft spot of the world. Like just in terms of like
True.
accepting immigrants, going out and trying to build hospitals or schools and
Gay
other
people in movies.
and other.
I watch Spanish like
I'm
TV
ju-
shows, dude. There's always gay stuff in it, and I don't feel weird about it. I don't feel
because
weird
it's
about
cultural,
it.
bro.
Well, I mean, you think about the ancient Greeks, right? Everyone talks
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
they were about it.
So-
I question that though. Like, all of a sudden,
You're like Caesar, not Caesar, bro.
Okay, you're talking about Alexander the Great.
No,
the-
I'm talking about all of them.
Oh.
All of them.
You can't see Plato
it's
getting
bullshit.
plowed?
Everyone's rewriting fucking like
Well,
Abraham
okay,
Lincoln was
okay.
black. Like all of a sudden the Spartans were gay. All of a sudden the
not ta-
Greeks were gay. Like, you know what? What next? Do you ever notice like again, not a single indigenous tribe is gay. It's always the whites. The white
okay.
people are gay.
Yeah.
Being gay is white
Wait,
people shit.
okay. This is bizarre.
Holy shit! I just revolutionized gay. I am dressed like this right now too. Maybe I'm turning.
The thoughts are creeping in. You're like,
Dude,
this is
that's
my calling.
wild.
But it is wild, bro. And the Hollywood thing, I think, is fucking crazy. I mean, you know, it's really funny because the older I get, the more I was becoming my parents. Can I have another fucking pod, bro?
Hey, they're good, huh?
They're fucking.
Everyone's
fire.
like, man, where can I get these?
They are
Bam,
pretty
bam.
good.
right?
Oh wait, no. Okay, so I do know of a tribe. No, I knew this story. So there's different.
Like 10 minutes later, I finally found one.
I find the local tribes like in Vietnam and all those, they just end up being chomos.
Well, there's a tribe in Papua New Guinea as as part of like, what are you calling?
Indoctrinating. They indoctrinate in your child, and part of your internship is you get butt raped.
Like in terms of transition to
your conditioning just turned off.
Okay.
What?
So a transition to manhood in like this tribe involved like rites of passage, which included like bloodletting, and then also the boys performing oral sex,
Bruh.
Yeah.
which is like
You
so.
did call it. That's wild.
I think in like, so just to say that like I think there are indigenous practices sociologically.
Can you imagine that?
That's crazy.
Like, is there an age where you have to stop being gay? Like when you're like 20 and you're still sucking dick? Like, what are you? 12?
I hope it's
Grow
just,
up.
I mean, I
What
hope
are
it's
you,
just
12?
once, but
Like he's just like, I mean, sorry, man, but I can't really into it still.
No,
And
I
you're
mean-
just like, fucking grow up, dude. Stop banging some puss.
it's about it's
Like,
it's
I remember when
actually
I was 15. I don't care about getting a rim job anymore.
it was at age 7.
That's
Seven.
crazy.
7 they were separated from their mothers, and then they had to do nose bleeding and performing oral sex.
That's fucking crazy.
Did that happen at the same time? Like
I
you,
believe-
you
I don't
gave
know.
oral
I don't know.
sex
I haven't
and it was so
studied-
hard that your nose bled?
Oh,
That's crazy.
I don't know. I just remember learning. I was homeschooled. We read a lot.
Wait. So you don't know who P Diddy is, but you know about a raping child
yeah.
abuse.
Because here
group
I was
in
raised
Papua
on
New
this
Guinea?
Christian curriculum.
Christian about
Listen, and so I read a lot of different like books regarding missionary efforts to different tribes around the
I
world.
thought of a different type of missionary then.
Okay.
wild.
Evangelistic efforts to different tribes around the world, and I just learned a lot about different practices.
That's crazy.
But you still don't.
He's like,
so you
this
haven't
is the
seen
moment I needed this fact for right
See,
now.
look, it came in handy. I don't know where anyone else is going to learn about that on a podcast. Okay.
So you don't know about Pulp Fiction. Have you seen Avatar?
Which one?
The first one, the biggest one in history.
The cartoon?
No,
Bruh.
the main movie by James
With the
Cameron.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay.
There's also Avatar. That's the cartoon that was before then.
Oh yeah, but I'm not a virgin.
Okay. I haven't seen that either.
What did your parents teach you?
For this moment right here, this was divine.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy. That was a crazy dovetail.
How does that conversation come up with your parents? So, son, we want you to learn about these 7-year-olds that suck an old man's dangalang so that they can become a man. Mom, what are you getting at here? Nothing. Just thought you should know.
That's in Papua New Guinea. This is you're safe here in America.
White people wait till they're adults.
I mean, the problem, my parents didn't teach me this fact. Okay, I read a lot of books.
Bruh.
Who has a book on that?
I'm telling you, they were so.
Like, oh,
The author's like, what y'all do?
New Guinea rapists? What's that about?
I don't have anything else to say. I don't know why I know that fact. I didn't ask to know
In
it.
Jared's defense, I took astrology, and sorry,
Astrology.
Astrology.
not
Were you the-
astrology. Oh my
What
god.
is
You're the
Star-
only man in the room.
Oh my god. What's the name of the fucking? Oh no. What's the name of the course?
Sociology.
How to be a stray?
Anthropology. Thank
All right,
God.
there you
What
go.
the
Oh.
fuck?
It was anthropology.
Anthropology is so different to astrology.
I know. Which is like, why I lose the word? But I found
I learned
Jared's-
about Gemini.
but I took anthropology, Jared, and we did also
you?
learn about indigenous tribes. Just not those, but you know, so I can understand how it can come
Usually
up.
the ones that just throw sticks.
I think. I don't know when I learned that fact.
It was probably anthropology.
It might
It's
have
like a
been because,
culture.
because we talked. There was a couple of one, so it might have been in college. I don't know. I thought I read it at home. I don't know.
Hey, hold up, no.
When something hurts your brain that much, you just don't really remember where you learned it
You're
from.
like,
Right,
no
hold
one
on,
control
hold
alt delete
on.
this memory.
Hold on.
Yeah, covered.
I heard a sound of a bicycle like pedaling backwards then.
It could have been at home. I'm not denying it. But I also did take some classes in college that were about the sociological,
College, that makes sense. They
like
love-
sociological.
Does that classify as LGBT in that case?
I don't know, but there was a couple classes that were all about like gender development, gender ideology.
Imagine someone trying to bring that big.
It wasn't the topic of the class, but we talked about it, right? And so I don't know if that's what it was. I don't
It's
know.
funny how like when we talk about
Or just went down
anything with
Wikipedia rabbit
health-
hole too much. I don't know.
But it's funny when we talk about health, like everyone goes like, we evolved and we did this and old tribes did that. That topic's never brought up.
Right.
Mm.
Well,
You
because
know?
it's not all tribes.
Just white tribes and Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, like, apparently like two polar opposites of the world. Happens in these spots. It's the electromagnetism of these spots. It just makes you want to sink down. I don't know.
I learned about that in astrology.
Huh?
Astrology.
Stupid.
Okay, before we wrap this up, like P Diddy's rap case,
Yikes.
and his boy toys.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on a female as soon as she opens up her mouth about astrology? Like if she asks you,
You know,
I no longer consider her intelligent.
I look at that, and I'm just like, bet. I know who you are. I understand like where you will fall into my life. You know what I'm saying?
as in she's not.
That was a
gonna
nice way of
fall
saying.
asleep.
That was a nice way of saying exactly what I just said.
No, because we overheard this yesterday at Carver Bar, and like this was a you know how some people have voices that just travel.
Yeah.
Like I felt like she was yelling.
It's like sour milk.
but
It's like she took all her vocal cords and fermented it in pickle juice for 2 years and popped it back in and then started talking about her
Yeah.
sign. Yeah, that's what it was like.
So, but it was weird because I was looking right at her and I'm like, nah, there's no way I can hear her that clear. Because she's
Way
not
across
being,
the room.
She's not being boisterous. She's just talking like this. And I hear her.
It's just a
clear.
sour voice.
Yeah, it creates its own frequency that just cuts through everything
Like
else.
makes my jaw clench a little bit.
yo, Jarod, bro.
Yeah. But so anyway, so this I don't know what the fuck she was talking
She
about. But
talking
all
about her Taurus moon sign on
yeah,
her
she was
tramp
talking about
stamp
some sort of
app.
menstrual cycle thing. I don't know, but it was like as soon as she's like, yeah, well, he's a blah 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 and I'm a blah blah blah. Mind you, how old do you reckon? By me telling you the story, how old do you think that lady is?
Mid-20s.
What do you reckon? You were there.
I
you saw her.
don't remember seeing her. I didn't turn around. I was so annoyed.
Oh, you're just too busy trying
She was
to
to my
bash-
back left shoulder. What?
Yeah, she was. She I reckon either the sun has beaten the shit out of her, and I mean like in the air, not her actual son, and the
Aging.
she was maybe like late 30s, early 40s.
Wow.
And she's talking about
But you know what? Where do the mid-20s girls of 2024 go to be in 10 years? Them.
Hopefully they grow out of that.
Well,
was like, they better.
I don't know, man. Statistics right now show
Fourth
that
grade reading level. Fourth grade reading level.
statistics right now show that
Jarod, leave them alone. Leave the people out there alone.
statistics in America show that what is it? The average is like 20. Only 22% of women are happy in their lives in America.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
1 in
because
5.
they're letting astrology rule their life. I'm a Taurus, so I hate myself.
I hate it though. As soon as a girl is just like, so what star sign are you? I'm just like, oh, I'm fucktard. They're like, that's not a star sign. I'm like,
Today it is.
who I am though.
Today it is.
Oh, you're a dumbass.
You gotta be genuine, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of curious though. I took anthropology, so we study culture. What are y'all star signs?
Okay, if you studied it, guess.
You can't ask that question when you're dressed like that.
Bruh.
And you crossed your legs. You're trying to hide your boner from your astrology.
I mean, yikes! I was,
Whoa.
thinking about astrology. I'm an Aquarius.
I'm about to get blacked over here. Anyways, I'm not telling you what I am. I refuse. But you know the sad thing? There is a part of me that I want my daughter that's about to be born. I kind of want her to be a Gemini with me. I hate everything about me that thinks that.
Yeah.
But I just want to
Test the theory.
test the theory. Is she going to be cool as well?
I mean, I'll tell you what, man.
She's gonna be a nerd.
I'll tell you what, man. The whole astrology thing. A part of me. This is a safe space, right?
We'll see.
Yikes. Well, a part of me is like, well, maybe, the moon moves the water. We're over 50% water. We're born in water. We're floating in water for 9 months.
Water.
Yeah, like
You mean just like
how
having
the
like an
positioning of-
electromagnetic quantum energy on the developing embryo?
based upon the time when they were conceived, etc. I mean, you can sell it on a live webinar and get some people to sign up into your course for sure. Like it's sticky enough for the thought to be like, maybe for me at least.
Yeah, a bunch of idiots.
But then I see it in in person, I'm like, I don't. You're taking this a little bit too deep. It's like one of those. Is the Earth Earth flat? As like a kind of thought, not like a let's go measure the shit. No, like a you know what I mean. That's how I think about astrology. It's interesting enough to ask someone what their star sign is, just to like we can have like a fun game of it. But I'm not gonna sit here and say you're a bad person because you're a Scorpio. You know,
I am. I can't say that because my whole family's Scorpios. I'm the only non-Scorpio, and I was ousted for a couple of years. Fun fact.
That is a crazy fact. That's wild.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder. Oh, Ancient Chaos sent me a message. Cool. All right, guys, make sure to subscribe and I don't know. Bye.